Good evening, soldiers. Welcome back to Demon Souls. So, a lot of shenanigans have happened with Demon Souls. Apparently, the game is so hard that it murdered my original disc, murdered itself, and then proceeded to murder my PS3's hard drive. So, that's why it took such a while to, get back to the swing of things, but, it's fine. It's fine. So, considering I've had this on hold for so long, I decided just to take the coward's way out, as it were, and just go ahead and play online and, let the world tendency work itself out. Normally, they're all pure white. I actually can't tell if it's pure white. I believe the Shrine of Storms is pure white right now, but I'm not entirely sure. And last time, speaking of the Shrine of Storms, we were going through the correct way, even though we already killed the Adjudicator, but I decided against it because I was getting extremely frustrated with that area. So we are going to make our way to not that place. The Archstone of the Tower Queen, aka the Tower of Latria. Well, actually, no, the Tower of Latria is the area's name. The Archstone is the name of the Archstone. Latria, land of the Queen's ivory tower. An old man took revenge on the Queen by locking her family in a prison with inhuman guards. All that escapes the place are the prisoner's cries. Beautiful. And we're actually going to get our armor. The armor I've been wanting to get, which is another reason why I decided to do Latria next, which in hindsight I probably should have done a little bit sooner and not invested as many points into endurance. I'm still wired on Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3 right now, so I don't remember the exact stats. But it's fine, and I'm talking over the loading screens, so I can't cut that part out now. Amazing. Okie dokie. So, let's get this started. Archstone, and like I said, we're playing online now, so... Which, good on Atlas for, keeping the servers up and running. That's good a guy Atlas for you. It's fair warning, this area is filled with traps, so we're going to want to be careful. As far as lore goes, obviously, it's a prison, or at least this particular area. Or actually, the Tower of Latria itself is a prison, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a bit, so excuse me that my information's not as on par as it usually is. I don't think we've got this before. Auget of Guidance, a stone that temporarily radiates light when it comes into contact with air. It is a prized one-of-a-kind jewel, but with no use in crafting. It is mostly employed simply as a guidepost. This is basically the equivalent of coins in Dark Souls. Basically, it lets you mark where you've already been. So that's that. I thought you were an enemy, but nope, that is another player. Away with you! There we go. But anywho, as I was saying, this obviously is a prison. As to who was imprisoned here, I don't think we have enough information for that quite yet. But we can assume, your typical... Yes, I'll help you soon enough, my Fraulein. Anywho, we want to watch out for these Cthulhu motherfuckers. Backstab. Yeah. There. To be fair, that could have gone worse. That AoE attack actually paralyzes you for a brief moment, and then they come in for the kill, as it were. Don't forget to pick up the key, because, Prison of Hope. This is actually called the Prison of Hope, which... Interesting choice of words. A cast iron key with 3 etched into it, Roman numerals for 3. It opens locked cells on the 3rd floor of the Prison of Hope. So, Prison of Hope. What's the significance behind calling it the prison? Silence! What's the significance of it being called, the Prison of Hope? Is this a place where, well, considering... Interestingly enough, this is a fluted knight, which again implies that he was from southern Boletaria. But he did have the wizard set on him, so that's very interesting, isn't it? Time to read. Well-made cloth vest worn by official magicians. So this could imply that he was a magician, or maybe he possibly murdered a magician. And, took his clothing, as we did from him. But, of course, his model actually being the fluted knight set leads me to believe that they were probably just running low on, or not running low, but that they just wanted to use that particular model. So I wouldn't read too far into it, but it is definitely possible that even though he was a fluted knight, he murdered a magician, and or he might have just picked it up on a dead corpse, as is the demon soul's way. Of course, Wooden Catalyst is how to cast your spells. I don't think I have any spells yet, so that's kind of irrelevant for us. I might get some later, though. We'll see. Blah, 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 blah. That's stuff we already know. I think that's all that we got from that, if I'm not mistaken. So we can go ahead and continue. Of course, since we have the key, we can look inside the cells. Shh. Only dreams. Poor guy. I agree. Ooh, it's so fun to read messages. Delicious. But yeah, we're just gonna let the world tendency, excuse me, world tendency events kind of, you know, go on as we play. Because that was my original intent, to basically manipulate the world tendency in which to allow me to get items and such. But of course, I don't think we're going to worry too much about that, and we're just going to actually beat the game. Because while it is possible, I've had this series on hold for quite a while, and I actually had to restart it at one point to longtime fans, but that's beside the point. But anywho, that's why we're just going to mosey on through. But anywho, ooh, very interesting. Not very interesting, but the rat's actually very huge. But of course, it being called the Prison of Hope could have also just been a kind of joke among the people who named this particular area, because as you can see, there was probably a lot of torture that took place in this particular prison. As to who they were torturing, we can assume that possibly just a you know, common criminals and such. Or we could look a little bit deeper into it and, or actually no, that wouldn't make much sense. I was going to say that we could assume that this is where they were rounding up dreglings after the demons attacked, which, if that were the case, I think there would be a lot more people that actually survived the encounter with the demons, and you know, were actually able to round up the dreglings and lock them away in here. Shard of Mercury Stone. Interesting. I forget what Mercury Stone is, actually, so let's take a look. I don't think we've read it, anywho. Shard of Molten Poisonous Ore. A shard of melted poisonous ore enhances knives, curved swords, spears, and so on. Basically, I believe that adds poison damage onto weapons. We're not going to worry about that too much, though. I don't think these hurt you, but I don't like them, so we're just going to roll right on through there. Beware of dangerous foe ahead. Thank you. Aha! That's where you are. These guys aren't hard to kill, but they do pack quite a bit of damage. So you're definitely going to want to... Ooh, that does do damage. I was thinking that it actually just stunned you, but evidently I was incorrect. Interestingly enough, when you get close to those enemies, you start hearing a heartbeat. I'm not entirely sure of the significance behind that, but you never know, you never know. Anywho, back to the actual prison. It being called the Prison of Hope could have just been, you know, a sick joke among the wardens here. Which I do believe these tentacle monsters are meant to be the quote-unquote original guards, and they must have been possessed by the demons at some point in time, which would explain why... hello there. Be very careful here, because it is very easy to accidentally roll off. There's another area like that relatively soon. I should have killed you guys first. Whoops. Alright, that works. Okay, I don't believe there's anything in here either. That's alright. That's alright. You'll find recovery items, Pastor. Ooh, we gotta watch out for Tentacle Head over there. Cthulhu, as it were. Yes, yes. Got another Royal Lotus. And a Silver Coronet. I believe that's how you pronounce it. But I believe that's female armor only, if I'm not... Oh, no, it's a unisex. A crown wrought from silver. This decorative piece is only given to the famous magicians of the distinguished Yormidar family, I believe. It is imbued with a unique spell that increases the bearer's maximum MP. We could wear that right now, but I don't think I want to. Because here pretty soon we're going to be getting something that's going to replace that. Even if we were to start wearing it. There we go. And we got fresh spice. I don't actually think we've gotten fresh spice before, so we will read that. Make sure there's nothing in here. Of course there's not. I believe fresh spice... Yeah, it's restores MP. But you know what? We'll actually read the description, because you never know lore. Sweet-smelling spice which soothes the soul. Recovers some of the user's MP. It is used by royalty as a luxury and by the magician as a necessity. Interesting. So that could imply more things here. This could have also been a place where they may not have been fond of magicians, and this is where they locked them away. That's very likely. Considering sorcery is commonly linked together with demons in this universe. So this could have possibly been where they put away magicians for, you know, being magicians. An iron key with... Oh, that's the one we've already read. Whoops. Oh no, it's the same thing. That's interesting. Prison of Hope. Oh, that's a specific cell key. Okay, that works. Or no, that opens up the cells, excuse me. The other one opens up, I believe, another door relatively soon. But anywho, this could have also been named by the public as, you know, obviously people would be scared of magicians because of the link with the demons. And you little bastard. And this could have been, you know, named the Prison of Hope in a way to bring peace to, or bring comfort to the general populace, in which, oh, the magicians are, you know, put away. We don't have to worry about them, thus giving them hope. Ah, you see what I did there? That's just a theory, of course. I don't know much about this area. As I've mentioned previously, I'm not as familiar with Demon Souls as I am with Bloodborne, Dark Souls, such and such, such and such. Of course, I know the general consensus of everything, but... No, there's one of these that you can open. Evidently, it's not here. As a matter of fact, I think I know exactly where that is. Now that we got the other key, we can proceed forward, if I'm not mistaken. Right over here. But yeah, that's about all the lore I've got for this place so far, because, you know, knowledge. Don't worry, I'll save you at some point. I don't remember where to go. I think I saw a fog door over here, so we'll head that way. There we go, that's what we were needing. Which makes no sense considering there's no keyhole. Here's the fog door that I saw. Excellent, excellent Vuk. Of course, there are coffins here, which could imply that, you know, quite a few people died during their torture, which would make sense. Beware of darkness ahead. Okie dokie. Oh, hello. As far as the demons actually attacking this place, the attack does seem rather sudden considering the wardens are now the tentacle monsters. Presumably the wardens. And of course there are no survivors here, other than the dreglings. You gotta be very careful with these because some of these will actually have traps in there. Obviously this place doesn't seem to be a fun time. The Iron Maidens, of course, you know, designed to torture and to possibly, well, not possibly, they were designed to maim, if I'm not mistaken. Not exactly sure what they were thinking in the design of the Iron Maiden. Not sure if there was just enough room to actually let the person survive and, you know, just kind of be eternally, well, not eternally, but constantly tortured by the inward spikes. Appears locked. Amazing! There we go. Perfect. So I believe there is a key up here somewhere. Ooh, we got a thing. Ah, yes, it's a door. Amazing. Oh, hello. We're not going to worry about you quite yet. Of course, if you listen carefully, you can hear singing in the background. Ooh, what could that singing be? Oh, the mysteries of this place. Ooh, easy now, buddy. Bam! Got more fresh spice. But of course, in addition to... Oh, I didn't notice that you guys were in here. And you can also tell that a lot of the Dreglings are actually afraid of us. Either because they are weaponless, or, you know, they're still retaining their memories from the torture that they endured here. Interestingly enough, that is a Balatarian knight, southern Balatarian knight. I believe this is a trap. Ooh, it's not. Interesting. Aha! This is what we wanted to get. Oh boy, so excited! A thin cloth mask which covers the nose and mouth. For thieves and assassins who need to mask their breath. Either way, it isn't used for good. In our case, it will be. Glossy black leather clothes. They function as thick skin and offer protection without hindering the wearer's movements. They're especially good at resisting poison. As a matter of fact, they are. 174 poison defense. Not bad. Black leather gloves. They are impermeable to water, allowing one to perform dangerous work. Black leather shoes that muffle footsteps, used by thieves and assassins who need to stay hidden in the shadows. Either way, they are not used for good. Ah, yes. Oh, yes, indeedy. I love our new armor. Quote-unquote armor. But yes, this is the set that I'll be running for a good portion of the game, because I don't really intend to use a lot of, I don't intend to use a lot of points to put into my endurance. Gotta back up. Back it up, back it up. Woohoo! Oh, that's the one that stuns you. Okay, I'm probably going to die here. Oh, interestingly enough, I didn't. Amazing! But we do need to retreat. Oh, I forgot I had my battle axe. Okay. Whoops. Recover some health. Bring out my axe. I need to ask you a question. Bam! Perfect. We're gonna run the axe for a little while. Oh boy, more keys. And now we can head back and open those doors that were locked. Gotta be very careful if you're booking it through here, because it'd be very easy to run off the edge. Wait, do I still? Yeah, I still got good roll. I didn't think I would have bad roll, but you know, you want to be careful. Can never be too careful, children. Okay, now we can enter here. And considering we did find the thief set here, we can also assume that this area happens, or not happens, but also housed, you know, typical criminals, thieves, and the like. Ooh, claws. We're not going to be using that. That's a dex weapon. And I guess we're going for full strength. Or we might be doing a dex strength build. I don't remember that item being here. Okay. A half-bladed dagger in wide use amongst the king's spies. A slashing weapon that inflicts heavy damage on soft flesh but has a limited effect on metal armor and hard scales. A fist weapon with protruding sharp claws. It has a slashing attack type. Its appearance is indeed vicious. It is often used by the king's spies, which, you know, could also belong to the thief set. So we can assume that those were used by the king's spies, and that possibly one of the spies was either undercover in here or was put in here for treason, possibly. Both are very interesting ways of looking at this, which of course is the set we're donning right now. Which I actually like the thief set a lot. Doesn't do well for good defense, but it's better than being shirtless the entire time. Oh no! Oh god, that scared me. Oh boy. That's why I told you guys, you gotta be careful here, because shenanigans like that happen all the time. And there's a particular one later on that there is an actual death drop, so always good to watch where you're going. I didn't think it was quite there, but I got really scared. I believe it's this way. Oh no. Okay, so it did take us down quite a ways, so we're going to have to backtrack a bit to get back to where we left off. Be very careful in that particular area. This way. Okay. Somebody's not too happy here. Not happy at all. How unfortunate. Okay, so since we went that way and fell to our almost death, we can assume there's nothing further in that area. So we can go ahead and continue on our way. Hopefully not too far ahead. Yeah, it's over there, so. I also have to be careful because I know there's a tentacle monster here. So we're going to have to be extremely careful. Thankfully, I think I have enough vitality in order to survive their attacks. Woo! I need to stop that. Thankfully I can resist that. So we're going to need to back up a bit. Do our half moon grass. Just to make sure, just to be on the safe side, we're going to fill up with a crescent moon. Because I don't want to die. I don't think it would be enough to kill me, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. We'll get that item here in just a moment. We want to make sure to kill the warden first. Fresh spice. And more fresh spice. Amazing. So yes, it's very likely that this place was indeed used to keep the magicians in check. Under normal circumstances, I wouldn't have just gone all out like that, but thankfully we had enough power to fully kill the warden. We'll come back there in just a moment. Okay, this is where you can fall, so be extremely careful there. That's where we fell earlier, so.
You're an ordinary human, aren't you? Where do you call home? Dear me, I shouldn't pry. Oh, perhaps you'd like something from my collection. I've had better days. I was once the wife of royalty, and I have some nice things to show for it.
Former royal's wife.
Before, there were many others trapped here, but they went mad and ventured above of their own volition. Redemption? There exists no such thing. The Queen banished her depraved old husband from the land. He returned in strange golden garb with foul demons in tow. They pillaged great Latria, land of the learned, and locked us in this dungeon. Since then, they've been feeding off our souls, telling us over and over that if we go above, we will be granted redemption. I know the truth. The church goddess may die, but never for long. And we are trapped below forever. Redemption.
Okay, so that does indeed give us some extra indication of what was happening here. Ooh, a rapier. Small rapier. Rapiers have a narrow attack range but deal heavy damage. They work well against metal armor and hard scales but are easily parried and have difficulty breaking enemies' guard. The wielder of a rapier can attack with a shield raised, so it's better to use it to parry than to block attacks well in the left hand. A luxurious gold ring fitted with a large jewel. It allows its wearer to obtain more slows when slaying enemies. It was once a symbol of wealth and debauchery. Unfortunately, it cost a crap ton, 50,000 souls to be exact, so we're not going to be able to get that for quite a while.
I wish.
But yes, the former queen, or former royal's wife, did give us a little bit more insight as to what happened. The queen banished the king, and one day he returned with demons in tow and also wearing a yellow garb. Interesting, isn't it? And once he was here, they of course locked up everyone. She did mention that Latria is the land of the learned, which could debunk my previous theory as to this being, being used to lock away the magicians. Of course, they were locked away once the king returned, regardless. So, but as far as them being bad, that doesn't necessarily mean that. But I'm just assuming that she means the magicians when she refers to them as the learned. That's what I would like to believe. Of course, she could also just mean high class, as it were. So that's very possible as well. Beware of trap ahead. So this one's a trap. Not too bad, though. Not too bad. I believe these are all... Okay, no, this isn't a trap either. It's weird that it makes a weird inception noise once you open it. This one's a trap, I remember. Oh, no, it's not. Okay, that works. Ooh, Ring of Magical Sharpness. I think that's useless to our cause, but... A soft ring bearing a light green seal. Increased magic attack power decreases defense against magic. Made by Jerry, a friend of Sage Frake, the Visionary, who is known for his magical handicrafts. The seal's design is a left-facing man. Interesting. Okay. Old Spice. Doesn't look like there's anything in here either, so we're good in that regard. And again, nothing in here, so we're in good shape so far. Aha! I believe there's a way to talk to this person, but we've got... Wait. Whoops. There we go.
Oh, human are you? I am Frake. I have been trapped here for ages. Perhaps you could help me get out of here. I am a sage. I can lend you my power in return. Oh, take heed of those octopus-headed guards. Perhaps you could help. I am a sage. Oh.
Okay, so of course this is Sage Frake, the Visionary. Interestingly enough, he did say that he's been here for ages, which implies that he was here before the king returned with the demons in tow. So that could also lead back to my previous theory of them trying to lock away all the magicians. Which, in that regard, could mean that the former royal's wife was referring to the high class when she referred to them as the learned. It's very possible. But we're not entirely sure. This place is still a mystery to us. So let's continue forward, see maybe if we can find out any other secrets. A heavy crossbow. Excellent.